All right, just got home from watching part 2 of season 5 of The Chosen, The Last Supper. Now, I'll give you my first impressions in just a second. Just a quick reminder that if you join our Patreon, we're gonna have an exclusive chat over there just for people that have watched the newest releases of The Chosen for spoiler talk over there. Obviously, if you talk about this kind of stuff in the Facebook group or different things, a lot of times they'll delete your posts or have it so it kind of turns off comments and different things like that because they don't want all the spoilers to be out there. And this section has a couple of those spoilers for sure. So we're going to be talking about this obviously in our overview pretty soon, but if you want to chat with me about it and with our community over on Patreon, that's the best place to do it over there. The link is down in the description down below and in the pinned comment of this video. So yeah, here are my first impressions of The Chosen season 5, The Last Supper part 2. All right, we're in a different car, so you can probably barely see us because the light in here is horrible. But we'll try to... No, that doesn't work. Anyway, okay, we just got out of The Chosen Season 5, Part 2. This is episodes 3, 4, and 5. It's right under the 3-hour mark. No intermissions. So, we just got out. My thoughts are kind of shared with someone that I was talking to on the way out of the theater. This feels like The Chosen. If part 1 felt a little bit different, part 2 brings us back to what the heart of The Chosen is. There's still way more biblical stuff than we're used to because, well, there has to be in these episodes. I think obviously we knew that season 5 was going to have more and more biblical, moments, like specific biblical moments. And we're getting all the big ones that I wanted to get in season 5 so far. And we're getting a lot of other things, of course, that are building up the story overall. Now, I told you last week that I was 90% sure that the Watcher was Luke. That has changed. We still don't have a name for the Watcher quite yet, but I would almost call it 100% now that I'm sure I know who the Watcher is. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys here, but I will talk about it in my overview of episodes 3, 4, and 5, particularly episode 5. So without any spoilers, this felt really, really, really good. A lot of Jesus teaching, a lot of getting ready for the end, continuation of the Last Supper, kind of going backwards in time. We started at the end of the Last Supper. Now we're getting closer and closer to the beginning of it. We're seeing Judas now show up in some of those scenes and some other stuff that's happening. I was caught off guard by some of the stuff they decided to do. And of course, we'll talk about all of that in our overviews. But yeah, I'll give my final thoughts in a second. Let's talk to Vanessa and see what she thought.
Yeah, definitely better, like more of the Chosen feel. I got tears this time. Not that that's not the judgment or the what's it called? The scale for Chosen is if I cry or not, but this one did make me cry a little more. The ending was amazing. So I think that was great. Yeah, I need to keep doing the thing where I'm like, this is a show. This is a show. Because some things I'm like head tilty. But like it's a show and there is biblical references and that is cool. So just go read your Bibles. That's my take.
Yeah, there is so much scripture in these episodes and it just feels so good. But also the parts where they added some extra kind of Jewish culture things and then added some, Dallas little bit of flavor in some parts, particularly the ending of episode 4, I think was really, really powerful. I've only cried at one section in The Chosen so far. That was the closest I've gotten to crying at another section right there because it feels so personable to us and where we are today with Jesus, rather than kind of looking back in history and seeing where they were at with Jesus. So that particular ending of episode 4 was very, very, very powerful. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. There's some people shouting around us.
There's some babies.
Sorry about that. Anyway, my thoughts overall, rating-wise on these, I would say these episodes are clearly a 9. This set of 3 episodes, I'd have to go in between each one and rate each one, which I will do on my overviews. But overall, I would say part 2 is a 9 as compared to part 1, which we rated like a 7 or a 6.5. So completely different there. But yeah, would you agree with that?
I say 8.5. Yeah.
Wow, what a harsh critic.
I'm not that harsh.
Anyway, yeah, that's us in the car. Back to Brandon in the studio. So overall, really, really good. Trust me, there is so much for me to talk about in these episodes, and I cannot wait to get to our overviews and, of course, eventually our deep dives when these come out on Amazon Prime. Throughout these episodes, you can expect, of course, a focus on some specific characters, namely the Watcher, which is a really big one in these episodes, as well as Judas, Mary Magdalene, and a lot of other kind of core characters to this. John and Mary have some really interesting character arcs that kind of go through this section. And of course, the focus on Judas is so amazing. They have to get this right. And so far, they've done a really, really good job of putting in a lot of different nuggets all throughout these episodes here. There's a lot to come with Shmuel and Yusuf and, of course, the Pharisees. We get a couple of the scenes that we've actually gotten previously. I don't think this is a spoiler to say because we've talked about it before, but the scene where they talk about killing Lazarus is in this one, as well as some others that we've seen kind of around the area. And so the scene with Judas, as well as he talks to Jesus, is in this as well. So yeah, there's just some really, really good moments, some things that definitely surprised me within these episodes, things that I wouldn't have been able to guess really, but of course then some really amazing biblical moments as well, all of it tied together really, really beautifully. We're going to be talking about so much, and it's going to be really, really amazing. I'm really excited for you to be part of the conversation, so do not miss our live stream this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. As always, we'll see you guys over there. I'd love for this to be a massive live stream with you guys to join in over there, so please be there, and we'll talk about all of it as we jump into episodes 3, 4, and 5 all that night. So it's going to be a long stream. It's going to be a fun one. Do not miss it. And of course, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.